Hello and welcome to your endurance practice. We'll be going through a few standing poses, but let's begin first with some movement with the breath. Inhale, the arms will come up. Exhale, your left hand will reach the mat and you'll begin to bow in and out of a side bend for the right side of the body, moving with the breath here 7 times. And settling in for a few breaths in stillness, stretching out the right side of the body as you lean to the left. Inhale, arms come up, right hand plants, left hand to the sky. Again, a few more bows in and out with the breath here. Until we find stillness in a few more breaths. And hold here, stretching the left side body. Side bends are a wonderful way to increase our energy to start our practice. Inhale up through center, find hands on knees, and take a few rounds of seated cat-cow. Inhaling, pulling the chest through, chin to sky. Exhaling, tucking everything back and in. Following the breath here as you move. As you find center on the inhale, we'll take the left leg out to the side and begin to do a few side bend, head over knee on the left side, right foot to inner thigh of left thigh, coming up and down, moving with the breath, preparing our hamstrings and adductors for a deep stretch here as we do a few repetitions with the breath. And then find stillness in head over knee pose. Inhale back through center and come up and down for a few rock star poses. Inhale, arm sweeps, knee plant, right knee plants, left leg thigh comes off the ground, foot stays planted. Continue to flow here with the breath. If it feels good to stay in one position of this pose, feel free to do so. We'll take 7 rounds total with the breath. And then we'll switch sides. Left foot meets right inner thigh. Coming up and over for our head over knee repetitions. Preparing this side for movement. A few more reps here. And on the exhale, finding stillness, head over knee pose. Inhale through center, coming up and back. The left hand plants, right comes overhead into our rock stars on the other side. Again, 7 repetitions total here. Take your time moving with the breath as we warm your body up to practice some endurance today. And on the down, rolling your way on to all fours for tabletop pose. Taking a couple of tigress here, looking over your shoulder, bringing the feet towards the same side of the mat. Inhaling through center and exhale, looking back at your tail. Again, using those side stretches to increase our blood flow and tell our nervous system it's time to wake up. When you're ready, taking any movements you might need to prepare your body further, planting the hands, tucking the toes, and on the exhale, sending the hips to the sky for your first downward dog. Taking a few moments here to paddle out your dog, making sure that your body is ready for these standing postures that are to come. Inhale, the right leg goes to sky, bent over towards the heel, towards the glute. Inhale, leg goes straight. Exhale, tuck. Right leg meets mat between hands. Inhale, high lunge. We'll hold here for a few breaths. Just getting you ready for what's to come. Start to feel the burn in the legs. Now we'll twist and plant the back foot to the lengthwise to the mat. Heel toe the foot in on the front side so that the front heel is in alignment with the back arch, and sink into our Warrior Two. As we inhale, we'll come out of Warrior Two into Exalted Warrior or Joan of Arc, either keeping the knee bent as we lean back or keeping the knee straight, whatever works best for you. Coming through a few repetitions of this before we sink into our Warrior Two. And on the exhale, sinking into your Warrior Two pose, keeping your arms nice and long so that your nose is in alignment with your middle finger. Turn your head. And inhale and exhale here. Feeling that tapas, that inner burning, that inner discipline, powering you through this challenging pose. On its own, it may not feel challenging, but when you've been asked to hold it for a long period of time, it creates a different story. Inhale, up and back. Exalted Warrior, keeping the knee bent here. And exhale, windmill the hands down to frame the foot. Plant the hands, plant the back toes, and send the right leg back into a downward dog. Inhale, we'll come into Chaturanga. Exhale, down into Chaturanga. Inhale, up Cobra. And exhale, we'll find our way back to downward dog. Repeating this a couple more times. Chaturanga. to cobra, straight to downward dog or to tabletop, and then downward dog. And again, exhale, plank, chaturanga, inhale, cobra, exhale, downward dog or tabletop. Pedal out if you need a bit more space, and then prepare to plant the right foot, sending the left foot to the sky, bending the knee, heel towards glute. Inhale, straighten the leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, step foot through, high lunge. Exhale, back foot turns length of mat, heel toe, so front foot lines up with back inner arch, and take a few rounds of Exalted Warriors or Joan of Arc into Warrior 2. Exhaling, sinking into that Warrior 2 pose on the other side. Noticing any differences, but not passing any judgment. Remaining steady here in your Warrior 2 and preparing to come out in just a few more breaths. Inhale, bringing everything back up into an Exalted Warrior hold. Exhale, windmill and down the arms. The foot comes back into Downward Dog. And take a few rounds of that half vinyasa flow, whatever that looks like for you. If you feel open and ready for deeper back bends, welcome to take full cobra or upward dog if baby cobra is not enough of a stretch for you today. Exhale, sending the hips back into child's pose instead of downward dog on this one, taking a few moments to rest. And whenever you're ready, if you need blocks for the next piece, please feel free to move your blocks closer. And then return to the child's pose for a brief moment before we go tabletop and exhale into downward dog. Right foot meets the sky on the inhale. Exhale, knee bends, foot flows through front between hands. Inhale, coming up into high lunge. Exhale, left hand plants on block or ground. Inhale, twist. Right hand meets the sky, opening up the front of the body to the right side of the mat. Taking a few deep breaths here, noticing if it's become more challenging to have that pressure in the legs at this point in the practice. Exhale, unwind, plant the hands on the ground, tuck the toes, right leg meets sky, and on the exhale, float it down to meet the left. Inhale, left leg meets sky. Exhale, tuck it in towards the chest, step through the front hands into your high lunge on the other side. When you're ready, grabbing your block to the inside of the foot and twisting to the left this time with the left arm in the sky. Taking a few breaths here, noticing any differences between the two sides. Exhale, hands meet the mat, planting down. Inhale, left leg to sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, left and right foot meet. Coming into one more round of that vinyasa flow. And on the exhale, walking the hands towards the feet to a forward fold. Inhale brings you to standing. And we will prepare to do tree pose momentarily here. So take any movement you need. This is kind of just for fun to see how long it lasts and how long we can go for. Your option is the floor, your calf, or the inside of your thigh for tree pose. Arms can be out beside you, or they can be at prayer hands at your chest. Making sure that your foot is not applying pressure to your knee, and if your foot is on your thigh, making sure that your thigh and your foot are matching pressure with each other. If you've fallen out at any point, you're welcome to return to the pose in whatever way is comfortable for you. Bringing down the foot gently now, the same way it came in, shaking it out, moving and pedaling the feet, and then preparing to move to the other side. On the exhale, slowly lowering the foot down, pedaling it out once more. Then when you're ready, Heel toe the feet slightly further than hip distance apart, toes turned out, and we'll lower down into our malasana, our yogi squat. Making sure we keep the chest through and up. And if we're struggling at all, always welcome to place a block under the sits bone. On the exhale, finding your way to a seat in whatever way is comfortable for you, and just taking some gentle windshield wipers to reset the hips here. We'll do a couple of gentle hip stretches just to cool down from the practice, and then you'll be ready to head into the rest of your day. Bringing the front knee, whichever that is, to a 90-degree angle in front of you, and the back leg swinging around to a 90 behind you. We'll take deer pose here. You can either lean back or lean forward in this pose, whatever's more comfortable for you. And on the exhale, we'll switch sides. Apologies here if you're looking at the screen for any cutoff of the image. I live in a very small house and we're working on camera angles. Inhale back through center, coming into the butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana, and bending over whenever we're ready to increase the stretch on the adductors. Inhale up into a seated position. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully you had a great endurance practice, and I will see you in the next one.